Hey everybody, this is Inara Ariane Griffin, and following on the footsteps of doing the Daring Challenge, I want to talk about one of the qualities to do with daring that is it causes magic, it causes miracles. And this is an amazing story. I still can't even believe this happened for me, but it was all about when I was growing up. For about 30 years, I became completely connected to Prince and his work, noticing what an amazing musician he was. Some of the best gigs I've ever seen. I saw him 30 times, so you can understand. And actually, he's right there. Where are you? He's behind. He's on the wall. From a jazz gig that I saw in Monterey. I mean, I've had the most amazing experiences, but one night when I was part of his kind of fan club, he had this incredible, like a website that was one of the most amazing. It was so advanced. It was created by designers and artists, and there were flowers, and you were a bird, and you'd fly over like a hummingbird, and you'd land on a flower, and it would open, and then there would be different experiences, such as a video, or you'd get offers. And one night, quite late, it was probably 11 at night, I landed on a flower, and then up pops this offer, which is for £22 per ticket. I get two tickets, really cheap. I mean, I've paid 300 quid for Prince gigs to go to Monaco and to see Prince in this incredibly intimate, opulent, luxurious gig. I am like, wow, this is amazing. So first of all, I receive a hit of the energy, right? This is the energetics of daring. I receive a hit of the energy. It's like, oh, this is so amazing. And because it's in Monaco and I live in London, I needed to just do, it was 2 nights from the time that I was looking. I needed to check out the plane tickets, the transport to Monaco, flying into Nice, all of this. And all of this I do. While the tickets are still sitting there, I'm doing all of this, and I find the way. And I'm like, yes, it's a yes. And then this little thought comes in, maybe I need to just wait and see who else wants to go. This little thought comes in, and I think, well, the tickets are, available. So why don't I just wait till the morning? It's just a few hours. And I'll contact some of my great friends and say, who wants to come? This is an incredible thing. And so right in that moment, as you can imagine, I lost my power right there, because the opportunity that was given to me was given to me. And I am then making it dependent on whether I can have a friend to party with and all this kind of thing. So sure enough, in the morning, those tickets are gone. And it was a very, very good lesson for me, because I was able to really dig deep into, well, what did that mean to me? I was gutted. I mean, I was so upset with myself that I hadn't taken this opportunity. So that's half of the lesson here about daring. We are given opportunities in life, and the opportunity is for you. It's for you alone. It may not include your partner, your kids, your loved ones, your parents. It's for you, and it comes directly through to you. And there's this moment, it's a millisecond in time, where there's an opening for you to step forward into your daring. And on that occasion, I didn't. But what I did do was I was able to experience the direct impact on myself of what happens when I don't go for it, when I hold back and I bring up some other reason to not do something for me. Because of all the people I know, I am the biggest obsessed fan of Prince, right? It's my thing. I've been doing it a long time, and I was willing to pay, travel, move everything around for that. And what did I get in return? And this was the thing that I really was able to assess with this total bummer experience. I got to assess that in his presence, I experienced excellence like I have never experienced. The flick of the finger and the whole line of people who would be affected down that one way with one tiny, his mastery. He was just an absolute genius, and he was fun. He was amazing. So I was able to assess what the impact was on me. And the impact was that this was the best peak moments in life that I had given up for this tiny little concern of, well, who can I go with? Right? So roll on. I think it was about 4 years later, something like that, maybe 5. It's a Monday, and I'm in my kitchen. I'm finishing something up with a woman who's helping me work on the festival that I was working on at the time, the yoga festival that I created, Yoga Connects Festival. And here I was wrapping up some things, but I knew I had a client in the evening. I had sort of early evening. I knew I had a client. So I was taking my time getting ready for the client. The woman I was with had a seminar that night, which she was taking. And so there we are. I get a phone call to say that my client is canceling. Suddenly I have a free space on a Monday evening in February. So it's cold, it's blah, there's nothing exciting about this evening at all. And then I say to her, well, because this person is canceled, why don't I drive you to Camden, which is an area in London, and we could go for a tapas meal at this really great Spanish restaurant. And so she goes, yeah, great, because there's enough time for her to eat with me and then go to her seminar. So I'm wearing the most ordinary clothes, just a Monday evening, nothing, sexy or dressed up or whatever. That is part of this story because it was kind of hilarious. I go out, we arrive in Camden, and as I get out of the car, I see flashing up, and I don't follow Twitter, but at the time I had an account that I really never used. Twitter is not my vibe. And all of a sudden, up comes an image of Coco, which is a club, a small club in Camden, and it says Prince. And I'm like, huh? Because I was part of this sort of fan network, the Deep Fans, and we were able to go to some of the smallest gigs that you've ever seen Prince play at. They were the after shows. They were just magical. And he would invite lots of some of the greatest jazz performers to play with him. It was very jazz based. Some of these really old, elderly Black musicians who'd been part of the jazz scene in America forever would attend some of those. So it was like, oh my God, like this is incredible. So I see this thing on Coco, and I know it's connected to the fan base, but why the phone flashed, I don't know. And it just stirred something in my mind. And this is the part of the energetics of daring that I want to bring to the fore here. So I'm feeling this thing, curiosity, part of the daring thing, leads me forward to start checking as I'm sitting in the restaurant. I'm just checking through stuff, and I'm going, is there a Prince gig tonight? I've never seen any mention of it anywhere. And I just see a couple of references to Coco, but no definitive information whatsoever. So right then, I could have finished my meal. She could have gone to her seminar. But instead, the curiosity piece kicked in, and I was like, you know what? It's only like 5 minutes from here. Why don't we just go to the corner and just see what's really going on at Coco's? So sure enough, we do that. We walk up. There's a group of people standing outside of Coco's, and I walk up to them and I go, is there a Prince gig tonight? And they go, yeah, but it's a very special Prince gig. It's one where you had to be in an auction. It was one of his charities. You had to be in the charity, you had to win the auction. There's no tickets for this. It's completely private event. And I'm just like on fire. I say to my friend, do you want to try and get in here? And she goes, okay. It's freezing, incidentally, and we are not dressed for being out in the cold. So there's also, it's not great conditions, right? It's standing in freezing cold weather with not much clothing. That's also part of the deal, a willingness to go above and beyond. So sure enough, I ask at the box office, they say absolutely no tickets whatsoever. I ask the fans and say, has anybody got a spare ticket or any leads of people who aren't coming to this gig, etc.? They're really great. They ask a ton of people. They're on the phone asking, is it possible to get these tickets? And then it's a flat no. And in the flat no, I get this feeling, which is, let's just do anything to get in this gig, right? And I don't even know what that means, but I'm like, come on, it's a Prince gig, you know, on a Monday in a tiny private venue. Why not? So I'm like, why not? And I say to her, do you want to just step out of your seminar and cancel and, you know, let's do this thing? And she said, well, what are we going to do? And I said, I don't know. I have no idea. I just know that in this moment, in this energy, I'm a yes to it. I'm a daring yes. So we stand in this queue. It goes down and down and down. We stand there for an hour. So we are frozen, absolutely frozen. And then the queue starts to move. And what I notice is that people are coming to the bouncers. There's 3 layers of bouncers, one at the front, one slightly behind, and a third one a little bit further on behind that. So there's 3 layers of security that you have to get through. I'm like, I have no idea what I'm going to do with this, but I can persuade, I can, you know, beg, I'll do anything. So I'm just in this mode of it's a yes. And I said to her, visualize where we're going to be. Let's choose a place where we're going to be to see him. And I said, all right, we're going to be stage right, quite far up near, we could have an amazing view of him, visualize it. So she's visualizing, and then she's also freaking out because as we're moving up towards these bouncers, she's like, what on earth are we going to do? And I go, I don't know. I don't know. Like, we're just going to be here in this energy. I see people pulling out A4 sheets of paper, which is clearly what the invitation, it's not a ticketed gig. And we're moving towards the final moments of being in this queue. And literally, I have a blank mind. I have no strategy in me whatsoever because I'm really good at strategy. It's gone. I have literally no idea, but I am just hanging on to this vision, repeating a kind of mantra. We're in there, we're in there, we're in there, we're in there. And we come to the bouncer. The bouncer at that point literally turns, waves me to the next bouncer, who turns, waves me to the next bouncer, and the third one just slaps a bracelet on, and I'm in. And I walked in the door like, what just happened? Like, what just happened? That was insane. I'm looking at her and she's going, this is like a miracle. It's this incredible energy of, you know, and we're laughing and we're on a high because it's so unbelievable. And sure enough, where we get the seats, exactly where I said we were going to get the seats, to the right, we see this incredible Prince gig. And I have seen him at this point. This is the 30th time that I've seen him. And there is a moment when everybody has left and we just hang out, we just stay there because of this incredible vibration. And there was a moment when I was able to really, I have looked into his eyes, I've seen him before, but there was this moment where he's at just the back of the stage and they're sort of moving around because it's the end of the gig, etc. It's finished. And there is a moment of connection. And I just thought, thank you, thank you. I think this man is just a genius, and I love him so much for who he is as an energy. And so we see this gig, and maybe 2 years after that, I get some tickets again, private tickets for what was going to be a piano gig in Paris that he's doing, where he's just playing piano, no big band set up. And then it's cancelled, and then he died. And so the last gig that I saw of this, I mean, this long, long, long line of gigs that I've seen him so near. He's like, you know, a few feet away playing at some of these tiny gigs. That was it. And I was able to bring in this feeling of such immense gratitude, firstly, profound connection at soul level to this being who, obviously I don't personally know him, but I felt like we were light workers working on the planet. And I think I really need to show you this. I really need to show you this. Where is he? There he is. Let's move the daffodils and bring him out. There he is. And it's a piece of daring that I really want you to understand. Like, some things will occur like miracles. You have to be the one to step into that energy regardless of the obstacles, of what your mind is telling you is an obstacle, of what you're telling yourself, is it a possibility or not, right? You have to just clear it out and go on this energetic of, this is so important and meaningful to me. This is for me. This is one of those moments for me, which, you know, when you feel them slip away, there's an impact, like you missed something there. The universe opened, God, Goddess opened a doorway or a portal for you to step through, and you didn't step through. So it's an encouragement of showing you the energetics of daring, which are above and beyond any logical mindset. It's all about the energy and what you're aligning yourself to. And I hope you enjoyed the story, because it's just the most incredible story. And I hope also it triggers something in you where you start to think, where am I getting opportunities, and where do I immediately put up the obstacle? And then move that to one side, step into the energetics. I will be doing more work on this with more masterclasses around daring, because as I've said before, it's the single most, in my opinion, ingredient in manifesting, in stepping into the life that you want to live, in creating the most incredible business. Like, it's not step by step by step by step by step. This is quantum. It's quantum. I hope you enjoyed it. And to my mentor, muse, and divine connected soul, he's in my soul group.